Hello everyone, my name is Lorens Chuno. Welcome to Doing Art episode 10. This episode is with singer and electro hip-hop artist Baron. Baron is well known in the electronic music scene. His music is very well reviewed and he has won awards both in the United States and abroad. Baron and I are actually neighbors in the Washington Heights section of Manhattan, so you can imagine how awed I was when I found out about this. In addition to being very entertaining, this episode is also very informative. Electronic music is a world that has been foreign to me, but as you will find out, Baron was very forthcoming in talking about his creative process and the music scene, the electronic music scene in general. I really enjoyed this episode and I think you will too. The conversation came so freely as Baron is intelligent, laid back and personable. After listening, you can learn more about him and about his music by going to the website of the podcast, doingart.net, where I have links to all his stuff, including his amazing music videos, of which my favorite is the music video to Remedy. You must check that out. It's an amazing video. Before we go into the episode, I just want to mention that I will be performing at Left Field on Friday, August 21st, and at Bowery Electric on Wednesday, August 26th. Both of them are in New York City. You can learn more about these performances and many more by going to my website, lorenschuno.com. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I present with his incredible stage swag, the amazing Baron. In your face.
I wear my glasses in the moonlight, through the fears and tears, and I was alright. I'ma give you a glimpse into my life, through the eyes so wide and it was so bright. Many of you may never know that I had bruised and burnt, you made me cry. I survived, came alive that night, still I ride, saved my life that night. I wear my glasses in the moonlight, through the fears and tears, and I was
alright. Alright, Baron. Welcome to Doing Art.
Hey, welcome. Thank you.
Great. I'm happy to finally have you here because it's been a while that we've been trying to schedule this.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we should just start from the beginning. Beginning.
Okay.
So where are you from?
Originally I'm from Newark, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised.
Oh, okay. Great.
Mm-hmm.
So Newark, New Jersey. When did you move to New York?
I moved to New York. I think around 2002. I had a job that required me to move, but I had a series of jobs, but this job particularly required me to move to New York City. So that was like, and I had been like trying to play around for 2 years. I was like, I need to be here officially.
I see.
And so I decided to move here.
Does that job have anything to do with music?
No. Not at all. Nothing at all.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the job?
Not really.
No, not really. Okay.
No, it's one. You know, as a New Yorker,
Mm-hmm.
You have to what you call a multi-preneur,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
that's a new word, but I totally get it.
Multi-preneur.
Yeah.
So that was like the job that like make sure that I was stable.
Yeah.
And I could survive.
Exactly.
In New York City,
Yeah.
Along with me doing
art. So I think we should come back to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna write it down. So you're from Newark, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about your childhood.
Okay. I grew up with my grandmother.
Okay.
We lived. I mean, in the beginning, we lived like sort of above the poverty line,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then as things started progressing, like we moved up.
Mm-hmm.
It was tough in the beginning. We moved around a lot
Mm-hmm.
when I was younger, and Newark is it's not the easiest place to live in.
What do you mean by that?
It's a tough city.
Huh.
It's a tough city. Like at that time,
Yeah.
like it's crime and
I
like
see.
all that type of stuff. So
okay.
it was a tough city to live in.
I see.
But we made it through.
That's what's up.
She's been like, she's my hero because she raised her children, and then like after they were grown, she took me in, and it's like, so our relationship is like really, really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what would you mind, you don't have to, going into how you ended up with your grandmother instead of your parents?
Yeah, well, there was before I lived with my grandmother, I was living with my father.
Okay.
And the situation there wasn't ideal for any of us. And so there, I remember a conversation I had with my father about where I would like to move, and every child always says their grandparents. So with my grandmother,
okay. And when you say your grandmother, that's your mother's, your father's mother. Okay. Okay.
And so within, I guess, a couple of months, that's when it happened.
Oh, I see. I see. Oh, okay, cool. So, you went to school, elementary school in Newark, New Jersey?
Newark and Irvington.
Okay. I don't know Irvington.
No. It's right close to Newark.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, a little deeper inside, but it's right close to Newark.
Oh, okay. Cool. And when did you discover music? Maybe you should talk about maybe you should talk about your elementary school and high school period.
Oh gosh.
And maybe talk about your relationship to music in that period in time.
Oh gosh. High school was an awkward time. And so I'm trying to think what kind of guy was I in high school. So I was like, I was the weird guy.
Closer.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was the weird guy, kind of.
Aren't we all? Huh? Weren't we all?
Right, but I also, because the school that I went to was like one of those they call a magnet school.
Okay.
And so it was.
Do you want to talk? I don't know about that. I don't know if you know this, but I didn't do high school, elementary school in the US. City? Yeah.
Okay. So a magnet school is like a school designed for a particular career path, right?
Oh, okay.
And so Newark had like, there was Arts High, there was New York Tech, like for tech people, and then the school I went to was called University High.
I see.
And so it was a school based on like getting you to college.
I see.
And like whatever.
Yeah.
And so, and I was in this, I was there, and so high school, so our classes were kind of small compared to other schools.
Yeah.
And
because
so,
it's very specialized.
Very specialized. And so you take classes there that that you usually take your first semester in college. And so being that it was small, like I was pretty popular at the time. Still kind of like the weird guy, but I found I remember joining the chorus.
The what?
The chorus.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so that was an experience. That was an experience because it was nerve-wracking. Like at that time, I was still stage shy.
Stage, I see.
And so that like I would get there would be times where there were like groups of us, or their solos would come up, and I got one, but then like I couldn't sing it. I couldn't perform, and it was like really, really bad.
Wow.
But then I think it was me opening my mouth because I had a stutter, or I still do a little bit, but I had a stutter.
Yeah.
And so I would be nervous to open my mouth.
Yeah.
And so like there were things like there were talent events where I didn't have to talk. I was okay with.
Yeah.
But it was like singing, but singing, I just love music.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I didn't like, as long as I was a part of the group, I'll be in the chorus.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in high school, I didn't really stand out in music, but I stood out in other areas.
Like what areas?
Like I was a class photographer. Wow. Or there was fashion shows and stuff like that, and I would choreograph or produce those or talent events and stuff like that.
Great. Wow. It's amazing because I've watched some of your performances, none of them live. You don't invite me to your shows, so
what? I haven't had one since
recently. Okay,
recently there's one coming up.
Okay, good. I'll try to make it. But I will. But I've seen some of your videos on YouTube, and your stage presence is so captivating that one would have a hard time believing that you were once stage shy, that you once had stage shyness or stage fright. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's incredible. So how about since we're talking about music, let's talk about your music.
Okay.
You are the first electro artist that I know that I'm talking to first of all.
Okay, got
I
it.
know of electronic music. I know your music couldn't be called is it
EDM?
EDM? No,
not yet.
Not okay. Yeah, it's just electro pop. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So I've been curious about the creation.
With some songs maybe, but yeah.
Okay. I've been curious about the creation process, how you write your music, because I've been listening to your music. It's not, I know some electronic music that is just one chord, or just some of them almost just one note. But your music, it's like it's well written, but then converted to electro. So I don't know. Do you want to talk about how you?
So I'm a fan of electronic music, and I'm a fan of actually all kinds of music.
All right.
And so when putting together the projects like Celebrity and Radio Heart, I looked to, because I'm also a poet, and a spoken word artist, so I like lyrics. So it wasn't difficult. I wanted the music to have a particular feel, and I want the lyrics to match the feel, and like I don't think it can happen in this one line. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you mean.
Repetition.
Yeah.
And so when I went down to write, it was more about me experimenting with all my influences and putting them all into the music and all into the songs. And so that's what you hear. You hear you actually hear like the experimentation. That's what I would call it, the experimentation.
Nice.
And I worked with some really great producers who thought that I was crazy, but also was like, let's try it out. Let's add these chords, let's add these guitar riffs. Baron, I don't know why you're doing this, but let's add these drum patterns and stuff like that. And so it became like a collaboration between me and the producers and the music and the lyrics, and like that's why I think my stuff sounds different, and I think why it's kind of hard to place. Like you hear the electronic influences, but it's hard to place in like a genre. It's been my
dilemma.
But it's been my like people like, okay, Baron's going to do something different. But also like, I don't know where to place him.
I see. So, but do you write the lyrics first before the music, or do you get the producers? Do you work with your producers to produce a beat and then you write lyrics to it?
It depends. I think I've done it both ways.
Okay.
There's been times where I've gotten a track from the producer and I've written to it, and it's just been like that. Or there have been times when I've had like a line in my head, and I have like a loop. And I write to the loop, and then I say, hey, I wrote to this loop, how can we produce around this song? And that's how some of the songs been made like that.
Nice. I've just been curious. I'm like, when you finally agreed to do the podcast, I'm like, I'm going to ask him about how the process of making electronic music. So this electronic music have a different kind of audience. Like it has just like every music, you know. But something like jazz, for instance, there's a scene, you know. There are jazz clubs everywhere that you know that, oh, when you go to this place you hear jazz or other kind of live music. But electronic music, like if I were to do electronic music now, I would have to take a whole period of time researching on how to go about getting my audience, because I just don't see them. I just don't see them on the streets.
There's actually a huge audience who love, like, there's a lot of festivals and like concert series that like cater to people who love electronic music, and it because like it has its audience, and the beauty of music is that there's an array of styles.
Yes.
So most people, I think when they hear EDM, they think of like doom doom doom, right?
Yeah.
But that's not like, there are bands that I know who are electronic bands, but they produce like very beautiful pieces of music, but they're like electronic bands.
Yes. Wow.
And so you find your audience around you because you're like the artist and stuff, but you also find, and like the stuff I do a mixture of hip hop. I add hip hop in it as well. So I find venues that sort of cater to both.
I see. So were you performing before you moved to New York?
I think before I moved to New York, I was performing as a spoken word artist.
Oh, okay.
My first project, I didn't release my first project to 2000. My first music project to 2008. So 2006 is when I like kind of started performing music. I remember that year I was like, okay, let me. I got some songs here. Let me just try and see how it feels.
I see.
How what's the response I will get.
I see. Wow. Okay, so maybe we should talk about your albums serially. So your first album is Celebrity?
My first music album is Celebrity. I have, if you can find it,
I
have a poetry album. But that's,
oh my gosh, I have to look for that.
if you can find it.
I have to. I'll look for it.
I did that was first, and that was called Troubled Man, and then Celebrity was the next one, and then I did an EP called Radio Heart.
I see.
After that,
how many tracks in Celebrity? I have it right here.
Yes.
How many tracks? 14. Oh, that's a lot. I know. Which one do I know? Hold on. Where is Remedy?
The Remedy is on Radio Heart.
Oh, okay. I don't know anyone here. Okay. All right. So let's talk about Celebrity.
Okay, let's talk.
Because you might be thinking, one thing about musicians is that once they produce their album, they think that's it. People won't look for it anymore. Once it's passed, they don't want to promote it anymore. But something I'm beginning to realize is that sometimes people like the old albums.
They do.
Yeah,
I still get like these ledgers and people still listen to the older music, and I'm like, okay. That's still great.
Yeah.
Celebrity, what can I say about it? I feel like it was my first baby, but it wasn't. It's my second baby. But I feel like it was my first baby because I was so in depth in it.
I see.
Like I was part of the making the production, right? I was in the writing. I was in the I recorded.
Yeah.
And I found the collaborations. I was in the editing. I was in like all steps of the process.
Yeah.
I wanted to know it like firsthand.
Oh.
And so I was very much very, very heavy into that project. And so it's very personal, and that it's very personal in that way. The music, Celebrity is really about celebrating yourself.
I see.
And so it's all in all aspects of celebration, celebrating meeting someone new,
Mm-hmm.
or celebrating the breakup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what that album. It's really about celebrity. It was I titled it in the beginning as a joke, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm a celebrity.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the album that kind of made people know who I am.
Nice.
And which is like it worked in both ways.
Yes.
I wrote it as kind of as a joke.
Nice. So, what's the next? The next album was an EP, Radio.
It was
Heart?
an EP. It was Radio Heart.
Okay. How many tracks is on that?
There's 5.
5. Okay.
There's 5 tracks on Radio Heart. And Radio Heart, because I was going through some stuff. I think I just got into a relationship, and the heart is all flooded up and shit.
Yeah.
And I decided it had been too long for me not having new music.
Yeah.
And I know that project I wanted to write more. I'm all in the artist part, right? I wanted to write more. And I wanted to have a different, like, I'm always looking to elevate, right? So I wanted a different sound. And so I worked with the producer that I worked with on Celebrity, and like, hey, I would like you to produce, and I like just write, right? And so we came up, and we worked for years.
Yeah.
Like we worked for a very long time. So our energy is kind of like a synergy. So like he can put something like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
And so that's her. And so Radio Heart became like this our love child.
Nice.
And it was really a song for the people who love music and the people who love to dance.
Yeah.
And like sometimes you need music. Sometimes music is therapy.
Definitely.
And so that's what that was like written out of.
Cool. I've been looking at some of your videos, and I have to say that your videos is like, okay, it's like you have a music career and then you have a video career, because your videos are like unique on their own. Like I would like to know how who conceives those concepts. Like Remedy, I really like the video. The Remedy, yeah, just it has everything in it. It just has a lot, and it's one video. You kind of feel it, but it's like there's a lot.
There's a lot of stuff to get out of it. And,
yes,
which is, I'm glad you said that, because that's what I wanted. I didn't want to have the people leave with one idea.
Yeah,
I wanted people to leave kind of a bunch of different ideas. And so I worked with a video, Stefan and David, and it was like I'm always in collaboration, right?
Yeah. So I like collaborations. Yeah.
And so we met together, and I said I want these ideas and that idea, and they said okay, but I also want this and that stuff. So I was like, okay, let's put them all together.
Yeah.
And so what we got was like, Remedy is really about being someone's everything, and sometimes you lose yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And so we wanted to figure out how to put that into it, and how to put that visually.
Yeah.
And so that's what we came up with. Worked with some really great people on that.
Yeah.
On that project.
Nice. Wow. So how about, I want to talk a little bit about your live performances. How do you sometimes you have dancers, right?
Sometimes I have dancers, yes.
Okay.
I've had dancers in the past, yes.
All right. Who choreographs the dancers?
I actually had I can't choreograph. I'm actually terrible at it. I actually had a choreographer, Amin Jai, who used to choreograph for me. It's yeah. Nice. So I'm not. Yeah. It wasn't.
Do you ever play with live bands, like a live band?
I have not yet.
Okay.
I have played with like maybe drummers, or some guitarists
Yeah.
before, but I haven't done with like a full band.
Oh,
I think
if you don't-
actually I have.
If you don't need to, you don't have to. It's a lot
I
of work.
did. No, I did. There was a show I did at Joe's Pub.
Oh,
And-
you played Joe's Pub?
Yes,
That's my dream. Maybe you hook me up.
Yo, it was great. So there was and then I performed Celebrity, which is like a song that people kind of know, but like
Yeah.
I mean beat wise.
Yeah.
But then I performed that live with the band. I thought, and it was like awesome.
Nice.
It was-
nice.
I would love to do some more like stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Do you think you might just gradually end up just always performing with a live band? Why still being electronic, but doing everything like a live band with a live band?
I've thought about it.
Okay.
I've thought about it, or performing my version of a band. Like
Yeah.
I've performed with a DJ before.
Okay.
And like he was my band.
Yeah.
It may. That may be something that I can look at into the future.
I see. Nice. I wanted to ask you a question. I just forgot. I have my brain cells are finite in number. Forgive me. Okay. Let me see. I think I wrote something. I want to talk about being an artist. Like, I want to get a little bit deeper. I usually ask all my guests this. Maybe we should start with what has been your the greatest reward. I don't know, a big reward so far from being an artist, like a good experience from being a musician in New York. Like, have you had this one gig that you played and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I have to keep doing this, you know? So, or it could be a couple of them, it could be several of them. Did you?
I mean, so I have played some big venues, right? I've played the Nokia Theater. I've done the Roseland Ballroom. I've performed in other places, right? And here's and that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
But I think what's like what sends me over the moon when I look out into the audience.
Yeah.
And I'm performing my songs and someone is singing the words with me.
I see what you're saying.
And like,
yeah.
And there's there's a group of people singing the words with me. And I think as a performer, no matter how big you are,
yeah,
knowing that people have taken your art and like and personalized it, it's one of like, it's like the best honor.
Yeah.
Besides, I think that's it, and or being someone's muse in like in their art. So, and that has happened. But like those things as an artist, I think those are like, I've gotten awards.
Yeah.
I got an award for Celebrity. I got an award in Canada for creativity and like with the projects that I've done. But I think, and those were great. But I think those things, like looking out and seeing people sing your songs and being another artist's muse.
Yeah, nice.
Are those like things that
I
really
see. Yeah,
are touching.
Great. Now that leads me to a question that I feel like I have to ask you because I've been poking around your social media and it seems like you took a long break off performing.
Yes.
Okay. Why? Because if you've played, Joe's Pub, it's a small venue, but it's a really nice venue that takes a while to get to, you know. And so the other ones you mentioned are really huge venues too. So, and these are all in New York City. So, why though? It's like, I don't know.
I think I was at a point where I was doing too much. I found myself working too hard, and it was in during, like, at the finishing of Radio Heart.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you like? Because you're always on go. You never take time to really appreciate the things that I've been like accomplishing.
Yeah.
Because it's always like, okay, I did that. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? And what I did was I took a break. I traveled the world. Like I remember that year I went to Dominican Republic. I went to Mexico. I went to Amsterdam. I went to Berlin. Like I was like, I'm gonna take this year to kind of celebrate or experience me.
Yeah.
Without all the pressure of like being a performer and stuff like that. And so after that, it's been like a road, just kind of getting back into the groove. And I have a different interpretation of my art now. It's not I don't have pressure.
Yeah.
I don't have the idea of pressure.
Okay.
So that, like, I still love to perform.
Yeah.
I still find myself in here or there sharpening my tools.
Yeah.
But I now I get to have time for me as well.
Yeah. Now the question would be, so for somebody listening to this who maybe doesn't know you or who has not heard your music, the person might be saying, well, I don't even know who he is. You know, why not work towards having more people know who you are? Like that could be the question. But as a performer, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I totally understand it. But for the person who doesn't know you, who thinks, oh no, he still needs to do more so that he becomes as famous as, I don't know, Akon.
Right.
You know. So what do you say to that person?
What I would say to that person is that I get to define my own idea of success.
Oh, success. Nice. Nice.
I get to define it. And so if I'm performing in a room of 100 people,
yes,
and they really enjoy who I am,
okay,
then I am successful in that.
Okay.
If I want to reach 2,000 people, I know I can reach 2,000 people. If I want to reach 200, I know it's not rocket science. It's just you just need to go ahead and bite the bullet and go for it.
Yes.
But I've figured out what my idea of success is. And
now, are you able to now maybe articulate in one or two sentences? Like, because this is the question I ask also. It's just like you're reading my mind. I was just going to ask you, what's your definition of success?
That's a tough. So here's when I know when I'm successful.
Okay.
When I get an email or a message from someone who says, I listen to your music all the time, and that this song got me out of this particular situation, I know I'm successful. And I mean, it's happened.
Yeah.
where people, where I can walk down the street of New York City and be like, hey, I have your music in my iPod right now.
Wow.
That's when I know I'm successful.
Great.
It's not a, hey, I reached 2,000 people, or hey, I've done that. It's those kind of connections.
Yes.
That's what, like, deep down, we're all artists, and that's why my belief, that's why we do art.
Yes.
It's for the connection.
Yes, that's good. That's really good. Wow, that's really good. Now, I want to come back to something you said, a word you threw out there at the beginning, multi-preneur.
Yes.
And I totally relate because essentially I have a daytime job, like a daytime job that I like and that I worked really hard for years and years to to be doing, and it's actually going to be really difficult for me to give up that job to focus on my music. One, because I've put in a lot for that daytime job. Secondly, because it helps me be able to do my music without pressure, to be able to spend money, put some money into my music, put some capital into my music without thinking twice. Am I gonna I would take a gig that I like even if it doesn't pay, but at the same time I really love music. That's why I'm able to do that. But even though I really like it, I'm not pressured into certain situations. So I want to know what have been your experience, because I understand you do some other things, some other things.
So, thanks.
I want to know your experience. Have you had to work on other things? Have you had to work on other things or to make money in some other ways in order to do your music in the way you like to do it? And yeah, just tell me.
Yes.
Okay.
The short answer is yeah. Look, we live in New York City.
Yes.
P.S. And it's like it's not it's an expensive place to live.
Yes, it is.
One. And so I've always had the idea that I always had this idea. I will never be a starving artist.
Amen to that. I said that to myself.
It may be cute for other people. This is not. Yeah. It's not a conversation I have. So yeah. So I used to call multi-preneur. I used to call it the New York hustle. Yeah. Because you have to figure out how to diversify your income in New York City, and producing an album is expensive.
It is.
People don't know that. Like,
they don't know.
People get the finished product and be like, hey, I don't like it, but you done spent quite a bit of money putting that product out that people say yay or nay about. Yeah. So it's expensive, and I like to have a quality project.
Yes, I see that.
So yes, I'm all for multiple, but like you said, there is a give and take because there may be certain things you can't you can't go to Europe for a month, or you can't do certain things because you have other obligations. Luckily my other things have been very supportive. My other has been very supportive, and so I've like figured out some things. But yeah, I can't go away for a year in Europe unless I'm like leaving and like that's the new plan. It's to live and like really work on my art and stuff like that. But nice. The multi-preneur, I believe. Wholeheartedly.
Exactly. You gotta hustle. I mean, I remember when I was younger, when I was in college, my plan was to finish college and then move to New York City. Then I realized like I can't be a starving artist. So I went to grad school, and after a while I still tried to do that, and I still said to myself, no, I can't live this life. So I kept going to school until when I finished, I got a job in New York City. That's when I'm like, okay, now I can do art in New York. And now I'm realizing that I have to keep doing it that way. I have to keep having the two parts of me for a while. I have to keep the daytime job and the artistic job together for a while, and even maybe forever till I die.
Right. I've always had it. I've always had it. There was I was like, there's a job that's a thing that pays the bills, and there's a thing that pays my soul.
Yes. Wow. Nice.
And sometimes they go inside, but that's what I've always had it.
Oh, nice. Do you tour? Have you toured?
No, an official tour I have not done.
You've not. Okay.
I mean, I've performed in different parts of the country, and like I performed in Canada, but I haven't done like an official tour.
Okay.
Maybe that was something might happen in the future.
Okay, great. All right, so let's do some fun things, some fun parts of the podcast. Okay. The two things. One is a game I call what do I call it? Turn up or mute. All right. Mm-hmm. If you like something, you say turn up. You turn it up. If you don't like it, you say mute.
Mute. Okay.
And then the last segment would be the no you didn't. No you didn't. Okay. So you just tell us the story. Okay. So turn up or mute. Empire.
Turn up.
Why?
It's good. What? There is nothing. Look, it's good.
It's good. I guess. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Some more. Do you know the comedian?
Turn up. Because she turns up.
Okay. Taylor Swift.
Turn up.
You just being politically correct?
Not at all.
Don't
say bad. Don't say anything bad about Taylor Swift.
Okay, great. Coffee.
Mute.
Like the drink. Mute. You don't drink coffee?
I don't. Not regularly. No.
Wow. You're just like, I don't drink coffee. I don't understand it. Okay. All right. Math.
Turn up.
Oh. So you like math?
I love math.
In school. Okay, cool. Do you go to college?
No, I went to Catherine Gibbs. I didn't do a full college. No.
Oh, okay. But you liked math in high school.
I love math.
Oh, okay, nice. RuPaul.
Turn up.
I like RuPaul. His music is out of this world.
I was saying that if it was someone else wrote these songs, I would not be listening to them. Only because it's RuPaul. I'm like, I'm gonna give it a try.
Some of his music is like dope.
Some of it is dope. Some of it is not.
This is not. Okay. Last one, plantain.
Turn up.
Okay.
Sweet.
Cool. Sweet plantain. Yeah, not the green one.
Not tostones.
Yeah, no. Okay, that's what's up. All right. So it's now time for your no, you didn't.
See, you try to prepare me for this, but I think I
all right. So you have to tell us an embarrassing story.
I can tell an embarrassing story, but it's different. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell the story.
Okay.
So maybe you saw the clip of it, right?
Okay.
So there was a performance I was doing at the Roseland Ballroom.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, it's probably hidden somewhere. and so I had like dancers. We because we did it the year before.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So this year I got prepared. We got dances, we got costumes, and so we were rehearsing in a dance studio.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you dance studio, you go from like left to right, using like the whole room and right. And so we get there, like the day of the show, and we see where we're going to be performing.
Oh,
and it's a runway. You see, like, you know the difference.
Understand. Yeah.
So like we were like all across the room.
Yeah,
running there. I was like, this is we're gonna perform all those moves.
Yeah,
and like
in this scenario. Yeah,
and so like I'm like freaking out because I'm always freaking out.
Yeah. I mean, tell me about it.
I'm always freaking out.
I've learned not to because it affects your performance.
And so we get there. So it's like we like all our costumes are on. They play the music and like. The girls go out and I go out and then we like, and so like we're trying to make it work. I mean, you wouldn't know, maybe, maybe if you see the clips, you may know. But like, I am tripping over myself. I am like, like missing cues because like I'm supposed to be over there, but if I go over there, I'm gonna be off the stage.
Yeah, it
was one of the most nerve-wracking. Experiences.
Oh my gosh.
Ever. Because I just didn't prepare.
How did the dancers
They were they're more professional than me because they're professional dancers, so they kind of quickly edit themselves. But I was like, no.
When you came out,
and I'm tall, so like there was like a part where we had to dip down on the floor. Oh my gosh!
Did anybody?
My hands hitting the people on the side of the stage. It was so funny. It was so funny.
I need to go see it.
It's quite an experience.
Did anybody say anything to you when you guys came out?
No. I mean,
okay.
They didn't say anything, but I knew it was like it was a shit show.
Did it affect your performance?
Maybe perform harder.
Okay, I see.
I was performing harder to compensate because I knew
you go really
everything
hard
else
though. Whenever you perform, you go hard.
Yeah. So I was going like
Wow, that's a good story. All right. Thank you, Baron. Thank you for agreeing to do this. Great.
Through the fears and tears,
Later.
and I was alright. I'ma give you a glimpse into my life. Through the eyes so wide and it was so bright. Many of you may never know that I had bruised and burned. You made me cry. I survived, came alive that night. Still I ride, saved my life that night. I wear my glasses in the moonlight. Through the fears and tears, and I was alright. I'ma give you a glimpse into my life. Through the eyes so wide and it was so bright. Many of you may never know that I had bruised and burned. You made me cry. I survived, came alive that night. Till I ride, saved my life that night. Come with me to the cast bar. For the heart, you know who we are. Up in a place in amongst the stars. Through the cars and we getting far. Look around and what do you see? A chance to get next to me. Moving close, take control of me. Thank you, baby, you're the one to save me. I threw myself into the spotlight, and things were fine and I was alright. Made you laugh inside about my life. Open up to see that it was my fight. On the verge to purge into the moonlight. It occurred that love was on my side. I survived, came alive that night. Till I ride, saved my life that night. I threw myself into the spotlight, and things were fine and I was alright. Made you laugh inside about my life. Open up to see that it was my fight. On the verge to purge into the moonlight. It occurred that love was on my side. I survived, came alive that night. Till I ride, saved my life that night. Come with me to the cast bar. For the heart, you know who we are. Up in a place in amongst the stars. Through the cars and we getting far. Look around and what do you see? A chance to get next to me. Moving close, take control of me. I thank you, baby, you're the one to save me. Take a breath and step to the left. Get undressed and forget the rest. Lose yourself in the sin of the flesh. Sweat, 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 sweat. Hello all, this is who I am. In the brown Mercedes sedan. With the world in the palm of my hand. Take over of a hell of a man.
Like sunbathed whores, violators, rigid neck about clothing contour. Missing congeniality, got prostitute wars. Over so for sell like the Louis store. Like bank rough battle, win welfare wars. Less required, but you still hustle for more. Press of opportunity, knock down the door. A play in the game, who can't keep score? Credit card fraud got you on a worldwide tour. It's mismind things that you can't afford. The pimp daddy got you doing chores. Take your money, take your mind, so what you working for? So submission, no respect, no true rewards. Without wings, baby, you can never soar. Without wings, baby, you can never soar. Without wings, baby, you can never soar.
Come with me to the cast bar. For the heart, you know who we are.
Say what?
Up in a place in amongst the stars.
Here we go.
Doing cars and we getting far. Look around and what do you see? A chance to get next to me. Moving close, take control of me. Thank you, baby, you're the one to save me. Take a breath and step to the left.
What?
Get undressed and forget the rest.
Oh, yeah.
Lose yourself in the scent of flesh. Sweat, 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 sweat. Hello all, this is who I am. In the brown Mercedes sedan. With the world in the palm of my hand. Take over of a hell of a man.
It's your boy B Dot, serving nice and hot. Preview for the club, cause I'm about to drop. It's so sexy, so don't stop, get it, break you off. All I need is a little bit of fashion on, glasses on, tinted windows and I'm flashing y'all a red carpet on. So let's toast to the pub as a rubber dub in the back of your club. Rolling with me, let me see what you got. Yeah, I found a spot, you gon' scream. Better open up, we gonna pop the locks, gonna get hot, celebrity. You know call my name when I play my game. You're all in my world is so free. Figures and all, and I'm playing ball. You ready, y'all, celebrity?
Come with me to the castle bar. Rolling hard, you know who we are. Up in a place in amongst the stars. Pulling cards and we get that far. Look around and what do you see? A chance to get next to me. Moving close, take control of me. Thank you, baby, you're the one to save me. Take a breath and step to the left. Get a dress and forget the rest. With yourself in a sense of flesh. Sweat, 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 sweat. Hello, all, this is who I am. In a brown Mercedes sedan. With the world in the palm of my hand. Take over, I'm a hell of a man. Come with me to the castle bar. Rolling hard, you know who we are. I'm in a place in amongst the stars. Pulling cards and we getting far. Look around and what do you see? A chance to get next to me. Moving close, they controlling me. Thank you, baby, you're the one to save me. Take a breath and step to the left. Get a dress and forget the rest. Put yourself in a sense of flesh. Sweat, 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 sweat. Hello, all, this is who I am. In the brown Mercedes sedan. With the world in the palm of my hand. Take over, I'm a hell of a man.
Cause this is the moment. You don't like to have anyone watching us. You cry, that doesn't make it up. Tonight, I'm about to fix you. Oh, I'll be your great affliction. So don't go, make me an addiction. I see you're gonna create you a cure. I'll be the beast you loving, running back for more. When they let you down, you call me around. Make me your addiction, make me your addiction. Just swallow it down, you feel better now. Make me your addiction, make me your addiction. When they let you down, you call me around. Make me your addiction, make me your addiction. Just swallow it down, you feel better now. Make me your addiction, make me your addiction. A medicated dream. If you die out, then they blame it on me. That's enough, give me something I can breathe. Step back, it's like I'm walking on the street. If I got to wonder, love, but you're blue. Say you got my number, call me too. And I'll be everything you want me to be. And you'll see everything you need is in me. When they let you down, you call me around.